Hello everyone! Today I will be reviewing the movie Dunkirk, which as many of you know, it came out today. So I saw a showing less than 8 hours ago. There was pre-showings last night at like 7 and 8, but I decided to go on the showing day because I took my father. It's the movie about Dunkirk, which is actually in France, and it's about 400,000 men were stranded on this island, and it was, I want to say, less than a day away from England, and they were all trying to get back. Well, the problems that they had at Dunkirk were they had no air support. So, I mean, there were like sitting ducks there. So there was about, I want to say, 35,000 men lined up on the beaches to go home. And the most horrid thing I ever saw was that they were all lined up and they would just sit there, and the Germans would just come in with planes and just start bombing them, and they just all sat there and kind of laid on the ground so that they wouldn't get bombed or anything. So it was very, very tragic, but that was very hard to watch because people were, they were just sitting ducks and they had no air support there, even though it was one of the worst battlegrounds was Dunkirk. So let's go over so that's the setting, and it takes place, so how Christopher Nolan directed it was wonderful because he did it by the perspective of someone in the sea that were on the boats that were trying to go back to England, and then they also took perspective, I think, from 3 to 5 Royal Air Force people, so you could see how they were fighting and stuff, and then they also took perspectives from actually civilians going to save the people at Dunkirk. So he took about 3 perspectives, and I like that. Overall, I love the movie. There's barely any dialogue. My favorite actor, Cillian Murphy, actually was in it, and he barely said anything. You barely saw him, which was kind of weird because they advertised it like he's gonna be in the whole thing. But, well, disclaimer, he's not really in there a lot. So so it's kind of weird that they did that, but it was great acting. They were all British, and there was a Dutch man during the movie and some French because they were fighting Dunkirk. Like I said on the first of the video, I said that it's in France, so there's a bunch of Frenchmen. So they're trying to evacuate, and the problem they kept having is the big, I can't think of the big boats, but they're like the big massive boats that have the guns on them. They would come in and they'd get the soldiers. Well, since they're so big, German bombers would come and bomb those boats, and they didn't have enough air support, so there were so many boats that were sunk. Actually, this one man, one of the main characters, is that he kept going from boat to boat because he would go to a boat and he'd sit there for about 2 hours and it would get bombed, and then you have to go and swim and you find like another boat, or he would go back to shore. He went back to Dunkirk at one point and he went on a boat and it got shot up and it sunk. So I'm trying not to spoil it, but that's about all. So so I don't know if it's just my theater or just because of like the sound that was in it, but at some points when like the Royal Air Force guys were talking to each other, it sounded very muffled and I couldn't really understand what they're saying. So I will definitely recommend, if you have a problem like that, if you notice like any other problems like that, please tell me. I would like to know if it's only my theater, because that would be great to know. My theater is just like in like a mall, so I don't know if they have like the best like speaker system, and it's not like car mic or anything, it's just AMC. So I don't know if they have like different speakers or whatever, but it sounds very muffled, and that's the only like complaint I have. But otherwise it was very good. Barely any dialogue, but as I would like to say, it was so much action, they didn't need dialogue. It was like intense, kept you in the moment. It was non-stop. Like at one point I forgot to breathe because I just forgot, because it was just like so intense, so into it. The acting was wonderful. I think besides The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, this is one of Christopher Nolan's best films. Like, this film better get an Oscar and like the people in it, because it was just wonderful acting. It was wonderful how they said it. It was just wonderful directing, wonderful music, wonderful composing, just overall wonderful. So I'd probably have to give this a 9 out of 10 or like a 9.5 out of 10. I loved it. It was wonderful. I recommend it to anyone that's that's into World War II movies or into history like me, because you'll definitely enjoy it. It has enough action, so if you're not really into that, you're like on the edge, I would definitely watch it because there's enough action. Speaking of World War II, in honor of this movie, I just debuted a GoFundMe for all the World War II, Vietnam, and any other soldiers, not soldiers but veterans of that war. So I will leave the link below, and I would highly appreciate you guys going to it and going to donate. Even the smallest amount helps. So I think the goal I put on there is 525. So hopefully we can reach that, and all the proceeds that I get will go to Wounded Warrior projects, nursing home for veterans, hospitals for veterans, so a bunch of that. So I'll probably do another project again for veterans, so all that money will go towards veterans. So please donate, I'd very much appreciate that. And don't forget to check out my next video, which will be another unboxing of makeup. So okay, bye guys.